I wonder if in this conversation, Nathan MacKinnon says, hey, I thought about what we do from here. You got to get me Sidney Crosby. Let's follow up on something that we discussed on Monday. After the Stars eliminated the Avalanche on Saturday night, Nathan MacKinnon expressed some lament and some exasperation, not knowing where the team goes from here. Sean, do we have that? Okay. Basically, he said, we're going up against a team that doesn't have their number one defenseman and one of their top scorers. I don't know what we do now. And Petey was on with us and said players had to be pissed at Chris MacFarland for not giving Mikko Rantanen one last chance to stay. We assume that Nathan MacKinnon is not happy with the team's direction right now, given that this blew up in their face. As these teams do after they have their breakup days, they also have their leadership available to the media. So Chris MacFarland, the general manager, was available to Colorado reporters yesterday. He was asked by our friend Megan Angley about what Nathan MacKinnon had to say. Here it is.
Well, like anything, Megan, at the end of a year, whether it's round one or round two or round three, you assess where your group is at, where your positional holes will be, what the cap space is. You're getting into the draft. So Nathan's an emotional guy. He's a leader for our team. You know, we'll sit down with him and have an exit interview as we do with every player at the appropriate time. But nothing really is different in terms of what we have to do now, except we wish we weren't having to do it right now. So, you know, that part of it is when Nathan gets back from the Worlds, we'll chat with him and have an exit. But as far as, you know, Joe, myself, the hockey staff, our off-season primer just starts too soon, too quick for this off-season, that's for sure.
To put you on the spot, Pete, how do you think that conversation goes?
With MacKinnon?
MacKinnon and MacFarland. Once they get past the, like, hey, you got to put on, I know that you're technically not the captain, but, like, you're captain of the team, man. Like, we got to have more of a united front, even if I'm the one who might have fucked this up.
Yeah, I guess, but asking Nathan MacKinnon to not be, like, emotional and competitive, like, they know the guy. I feel like that's, after a series loss, you shouldn't be upset at Nate MacKinnon. Just let him. If I was conducting this meeting or structuring this meeting, I'd be like, Nate, say what you need to say, get it off your chest, and then I will give my response and kind of give you our blow by blow of what happened and what our plan is. Like, just allow him space to get it out.
Okay. I wonder if in this conversation, Nathan MacKinnon says, hey, I thought about what we do from here. You got to get me Sidney Crosby. You want to make me happy, go out and make Sid happen. And that's tough to do because famously, they, I believe, have one pick in the first, 6 rounds this year or something. They don't have any picks in the first 3 rounds the next 2 years. So I don't know how they do it. They are in such a tight spot. They traded their best prospect already just to get Brock Nelson, who you think they'd need to re-sign. But I wonder if Nathan MacKinnon is like, you know what? You want to make this right. You want to make me happy. You want to make us excited. Our window is short now anyway. Go get Sidney Crosby.
I mean, Chad is going in the opposite direction here. They're saying get Nate to Pittsburgh. That would be the funniest outcome of this whole saga. People have been spending years talking about getting Sidney Crosby out of Pittsburgh to go play with Nate MacKinnon. What if it was just the opposite? Just get Nate out of Colorado and get him to Pittsburgh.
If you put those two in the same city, Brad Marchand has to follow, right? You got to get all three of them together.
Yeah,
especially because he has the freedom to go wherever he wants, more or less.
Let's see. MacKinnon is making 12.6, right? I mean, there's no way. That would be kind of... I was saying this yesterday when explaining Jack Eichel to someone who is new to hockey. People quit their jobs all the time. You know?
They do.
So it wouldn't be the biggest asshole move if MacKinnon was like, get me out of here. I will say that would be the fumbling of all fumbling. If you had Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Cale Makar, and people forget Gabriel Landeskog at some point coming back from injury, and you get rid of Mikko Rantanen because you want to make sure you can sign Cale Makar, and that costs you Nathan MacKinnon.
and then Cale Makar is going to be like, well, I'm not signing here.
Exactly. Oh, right. In turn would probably cost you Cale Makar, although they can give him
but I don't really have I don't really have anything against the Avs in particular, but I do like hating and chaos. And oh baby, would that be entertaining? Just
Good
watching
news,
that
bad
franchise
news,
collapse.
Avalanche fans. Turns out you do have picks in the next couple of years. We found a way to get you some. The bad news. Stay off Puckpedia Avalanche roster page for a couple of years.
That sound you hear is every Colorado Avalanche fan listening to the show just driving their car off the side of the road and screaming.
Now, the YouTube title for this, when we post it, is "We Fixed the Avalanche!" ! Right? We fixed the Avalanche, and it's like a draft podium, like the Stanley Cup being raised by hands that we can only see the hands. We don't see who's doing it.
And it's the analytics in the back end are just like minus 45 subscribers.
Yeah. No, people would like that. People like fresh ideas.
For sure.
We figured it out.
Oh, we got bro. He ain't leaving. What are we talking about here? That's what Penguins fans said when you said trade Sidney Crosby to the Avalanche. When you were saying bring Sidney Crosby over, now the shoe is on the other foot and you don't like it. How convenient.
How does it feel now? We fixed the Avalanche.
Fergus Marner in the chat said Nathan MacKinnon. If he starts popping out with yins, it's over for the Colorado Avalanche.
Bobby Ballantyne says this is hilarious coming from an Oilers fan, actually. I don't know what you mean, but I am happy to have that explained to me. This is all tongue-in-cheek, but also it's not impossible.
The Draisaitl McDavid of it all.
Oh, yeah. I guess Connor could still leave.
Yeah, but I don't know. Ever since the Oilers found their magic, which is not having good goaltending, Connor's happy. They're fine. Pete's right. McDavid to the Kings says, just wait until McDavid leaves. No, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to live forever. Thank you very much for checking in, though. McCarr to the Oilers, somebody says. Yeah, wrap our head around that. Evan Bouchard and third-round pick because you don't have any of those. Bang. All done. Keep
that
the
ought
change.
to do it.
Yeah.
That ought to do it.
We all silly like the mayor.